Hello there, everybody, and we are back with Misclick's D&D Devotion, episode 25, part 2, and our director's commentary of it. Let's just see where it goes. Alright. Oh god, ruining everything. The elves are having a moment with themselves, but eventually things calm down. Eventually, your mother stops crying. You know, she's been alive for a long time. She's, like 700 or 800 years old. She's seen a lot of people die. She's, especially as a bard who travels the world, she's dealt with a lot more death than your typical elf, which is a lot more death than your typical human. So I don't want to say, like, she gets over it, but she deals with it surprisingly well. So right there, that is me trying to give a rationale to the players as to why I'm not doing a very good job of showing their mother grieving. And the logic makes sense. You know, she's old, she's traveled in human lands a lot, she's probably really used to people dying. But as a DM, I'm having a hard time properly dealing with her, showing their mother grieving. I don't feel like I'm doing a good job of that. So I'm trying to hide the fact that I'm poorly role-playing their mother by giving an explanation for why she might not be emoting properly. And there's another thing that's going on right now, too. We're changing the bar music from the very general, the Slaughtered Ox, to, what is it called, like Wild West Saloon or something? Or maybe it's like Western Saloon. It's a much more rowdy track because I want things maybe to get a little bit rowdy, and I want to kind of develop that, like you're in like a wild sort of bar. I want to bring up the energy levels. We've been dealing with too much heavy shit. We need to, you need to balance out the heavy drama with the lighthearted stuff. It's it's the classic, you can't give everybody +5 magic swords, otherwise a +5 magic sword is really pointless and boring. You can't go too far to one extreme without also playing on the other extreme. You gotta have both sides. You have to have the light and the shadow. You have to balance these things out. So people are dying, parents are being cheated up, there's like there's weird stuff going on. It's all very heavy. So we're gonna try and lighten the mood on the other side with more upbeat music. This is an area which she has had a lot of experience losing friends.
So it's like a deep sadness, but it doesn't stop her from like going about her life.
Right, like thankfully Kellen rolls with it, helps make sense of that situation for us. Really appreciated that. Anna saved my butt there. If the volume was at full, you'd notice that I'm actually struggling to find the right volume for Wild West Saloon or whatever that song is called, because not all the soundtracks have the same normalization. So the volume kind of jumps up and down while I try and get it just right. I know I've met Ransom the once. Or twice. I think it's just the once. But I haven't heard a word about your wedding.
Well, I think that's more important.
Remember, wedding's the important thing. That's what we're here for. Do tell.
Our father.
I'm trying to move on, and they don't want to move on. But the best way to get over the loss of life is to celebrate new life, and well, the wedding is the first step to new life. Hint about kids, unless you're not ready to talk about this.
Mom, do you mean kids? You mean new life like kids?
Anna/Kellen totally calls Kalia out because she's like, having kids, right? Step to new life. And then she's gonna backpedal because Kellen's seemingly like uncomfortable with this idea, and it's like a little bit weird. So yes, that's exactly what Kalia was getting at, but she...
Are you like trying to make her have grandkids like right away?
Well, I mean...
I don't want any kids. I don't want to bring kids into this world.
You'll be starting a new life with your betrothed. That is the new life I was. So the mom's trying to connect with the kids, right? I want them to connect with their mom and their mom to connect with them. So we roll back the like have kids thing.
Right.
Will you both deny me grandchildren?
I thought you said.
But we gotta play up the mom angle, right? Grandchildren. Everyone loves grandchildren. If you had children with humans, yes.
Are you suggesting we should have children with someone other than our spouses?
Are you married?
No, but
not married, not spouses. Well, and then one day Olivia will die, and then maybe you'll marry a nice elf after that, and we can have some grandchildren. I know it's a casual racism, kind of one of the tenets of this campaign.
I know you're going through a lot right now, but I just feel like that's really insensitive.
Yeah, and how can you get over dad so quickly?
Ooh, I'm doing a bad job of showing her grieving over her husband. Look at me struggle. So tell me about your journey over here. How was it? So I deal with it by not dealing with it, by like changing the topic and hoping that it, comes off as her being unable to deal with the grief. That's like the long pause. What do we do? And then we awkwardly change the subject, hoping it comes off as her too grieving to discuss it. It says changing the, but really I'm just like trying to avoid.
I look at Kellen, like I give him a look, like
I shrug, like she's going through a lot, man. Like we'll just.
Thank you, Kellen. Thank you for understanding that I don't know how to roleplay this.
Cass found some good drugs. I mean,
did you bring any with you?
Mom, when did you do drugs?
Look, you're a well-traveled bard. You know the lifestyle. And now that you're adults, here we're trying to set up the parents are rock and roll style things. Like that's why the mom's talking about drugs. That's why this. And that helps explain the revelations later that their parents had an open relationship. It's like we're trying to set up the parents as like old retired rock stars. So we bring up drugs. And we bring up like her mom's super cool with doing all sorts of drugs. Because we're making her out like a rock star.
I don't know that I want to get married anymore.
Wait, what?
Huge bomb. Kess just says, I don't want to get married anymore.
And I don't know that I want to get married anymore.
Classic Trump, what? No reaction. Oh no.
Mom, no.
Mom doesn't even give a shit. Mom's like, oh yay, but like, oh no.
Well, I've been going through a lot right now, and I feel a lot of emotion, and I just feel like things are just falling apart around me and everything. I mean, I had an episode on the boat again.
Ooh, this is fun. She calls it an episode, which I really like her calling it an episode. Well done there, Cass. Kellen's about to say some things which changes significantly like a lot of the shit that's gone down. I'll explain it in a bit.
What do you mean by episode?
I don't even know anymore. I didn't have a fit.
I shouldn't have said she means a fit. I should have just shut the hell up and let them keep talking. Bad Neal, don't interrupt your players, let them go.
The dream again. I had the dream where everybody was dying again, and I was stuck in that dream world.
Oh my God, Kess keeps going on about these dreams, which is legit for her character, but I think I get the impression that look at the other players, they don't seem that interested in this.
And there's something else gonna happen to you. Then
I don't know how to deal with that, but
ransom was thrown off somewhere, and Guy died in my dream, and it's not just a dream. I know there's something real about
like Kess is doing a really good job of having these dreams be upsetting to her character, and it's great, and she's like spot on with the role playing.
Last time somebody was there with me,
but it does take up a lot of screen time.
But this time it was just me alone, and I don't know what that means, and
I grab her hands. I grab her hands, like, and I like kind of hold them.
This is it.
And I'm like, sis, we come from a family of empaths. I look at Mom for like
that right there. We come from a family of empaths. In that moment, the entire history of why Kess is having these dreams completely changes from like the reasons I had written them to, oh my God, her family has like prophetic dreams. And all of a sudden, in my brain, I think you can like see my eyes dart back and forth like, oh, okay, I got it. Like, I completely rewrite the narrative in my head of why these dreams are happening and then recontextualize how to use them going forward. Let's scroll back just a few seconds.
I grab her hands, like, and I like kind of hold them to my chest, and I'm like, sis,
Watch the eyes.
we come from a family of empaths. I look at mom for like encouragement.
I get it.
Nod slowly.
Get it.
And we just feel things way deeper than the normal person.
This next bit about the mother's sister, totally pulling off the top of her head as we're rolling with what Kellen's saying, because Kellen brought up a beautiful idea of them being empathic.
That happened to
Your
me, Kellen.
aunt, my sister, used to have dreams.
All improvising here. No idea where this is going.
But this wasn't.
Well, I know
just
where it's
a
going, but
dream. Last time
was
we were
not
all
planned.
Affected. We were on a ship and something happened. We found a ship.
I
We
know what you're
found a ship.
saying,
I even have the
child.
stuff from it. I have this bag of gems I pulled out. I pull it out from the ship.
Tess
This
Ethliel.
happened.
Full name. She's upset.
Ethliel, you're not listening to me. Your aunt used to have dreams. Dreams that would later come true.
Setting up the prophetic dream.
Are
Your
you
brother is
sure?
not lying. There is something that runs in our family.
But Ransom had the dream too. How would he have had this?
Because it wasn't intended at the time.
I just meant more in like an artistic sense, Mom. I mean, I've never had a dream like that, so like,
Neither have I.
I
But
mean,
my
like,
again, I'm talking too much. Just let Kess run with things, Neal. Don't interrupt her, him, whatever. Sorry, Kellen. God, I'm so bad with names. Don't, Kellen's run like, haha, dreams. The mother doesn't need to interrupt there. Sure, she can, but I'm inserting myself too much in this conversation. I should be letting the players monologue a little bit more.
if there was
Doug.
gonna be someone in the family that would be gifted with dreams, I mean, like,
I really like Kellen's
Yeah.
she shakes her arrogance right there. That's a good scene. I like that.
It's been a few centuries since I've last seen your aunt.
Remember, they're elves. Time is different for elves. It's been a few centuries. It's been, a few years, whatever. Keep reminding players that elves are different than humans, because I feel that's something we never get enough of in our role playing. I feel we treat elves as just long-lived humans without actually examining any of the ramifications of of living for centuries at a time. Like, I haven't seen my sister in 400 years,
Last I heard, she was wandering through the woods somewhere. But maybe she can help you.
Great. So I'm gonna.
Here we set up a possible storyline of them going to visit their aunt, and we don't know where she is, so we say like wandering through the woods somewhere. I think that was not the greatest execution of that, but it does set us up for a possible storyline where they go visit their aunt to like learn about prophetic dreaming. It may nothing may ever come of it, but we're laying the groundwork for that adventure already right here with that line.
No, nutcase.
oh, you already are a nutcase, but we love you anyway. I kind of like playfully punch her.
Good job, Kellen.
Snicker.
The key... Perhaps we should get that drink.
Because we've spent too much time on the elves. Olivia and Ransom are getting bored.
Boyfriend's father suggested. I think after this, we could all use a drink. Kellen, would you be a dear and go get us a round of beers or something? Whatever it is you drink with your human companions.
The reason we send Kellen and not Kess is the mom's having this like prophetic dream with Kess thing. So that we want the mom to keep interacting with Kess right now for some weird intensity. But we do want to change the scene over to the bar. And so we have to send one of the siblings away. So we send Kellen. I mean, Kess has kind of been the center of attention for a while. So we send Kellen to the bar so he can be in the next scene. And we leave the mom interacting with Kess because there's some prophetic dreams. You two should keep interacting while these other ones go off.
Are you talking to me or Kellen?
Kellen, please.
Yeah, sure.
All right, when Kellen
He
steps
looks kind
away,
of like crestfallen. He has like a lot to think about. He goes and gets them.
Kellen steps away, your mom leans in a little bit and kind of puts a hand on your hand and says, now, darling, you might just be having nightmares, or there might actually be something more to
It
this.
feels like they were real, Mom, and nobody really believes me. Even Ransom has questioned me at times, and he went through the dream as well. There was something, I sensed magic on the ship.
The
when it
scene with
first
the
happened, and
upbeat
even
music
this
in the
last time I
background
sensed
really
magic, although I
changes
don't know if
the
that was in the dream or not.
the music really. Ooh, hold on. We're saying something important there, but the upbeat music really changes the feel of Kellen going on and on about these dreams, and it kind of helps us brush past them and kind of deal with them and move on, rather than like the heavy dramatic music where we really want to investigate these things. That's why I picked this soundtrack, because we're trying to lighten the mood. But their mom is about to say something right now, which we will address again in the next episode.
Something, I sensed magic on the ship when it first happened, and even this last time I sensed magic, although I don't
Do
know
you
if that
keep a
was in
diary?
the dream or not. I mean, I write stuff down sometimes. I have
You
this
should
book.
keep a diary. Here we are trying to get Kess to keep a diary. A couple of things. One, this will get her to write down the dreams a little bit more specifically, so we can keep re-examining the dreams over and over again, giving us a little bit more detail with them. You know, that means if you're writing down your dreams, you can be interacting with them more because you will have a better remembrance of what they are. And the other thing is it gives us a mechanic to let Kess start exploring her dreams in a more creative, like working with them, it becoming an empathic power. Again, all of the stuff is kind of spontaneous based on what Kellen said about like, we come from a family of empaths, which she's like totally bullshitting and like just trying to calm her sister down, but then we're rolling with it. And so now we're trying to set up like in the future, write down your dreams, and that way you can have a mechanic for like working within your dreams or coming to understand them and like a gaining of power. And keep track of your dreams. All of them, even the benign ones. See what comes true and what doesn't. That's how your aunt found out. Prophetic dreams, trying to remember, write things down, see what comes true. Track them all. Meanwhile, at the bar, Kellen, you arrive, and Guy is currently talking with Liam. Rhonda and Ransom are having some conversation about fighting or whatnot, and you arrive on the scene.
Where's Olivia?
I forgot about Olivia. I think Olivia's probably hanging out with Guy and Liam. Because we want Ransom and Rhonda to be together. We're trying to very, very, very gently and subtly set up a Rhonda Ransom romance on the side. We've been doing it for a couple of episodes. Rhonda and Ransom are hanging out, and they've got the pretense of like being soldiers and training with each other. But we're also very gently, every now and then, putting them together or making it seem like Rhonda and Ransom are always together. And that's the way that we are setting up the romance. Is like in the background, like if it doesn't matter who's talking to who, Rhonda and Ransom are hanging out. Rhonda and Ransom are always hanging out. Why is Rhonda spending so much time with Ransom? And why is Ransom spending so much time with Rhonda, right? Like you can't, like that's the sort of thing that you need to set up continually over episodes after episode after episode after scene. So just a little Rhonda and Ransom are hanging out. Doesn't matter, like just a sentence here, but that sentence is coming up all the time.
I walk up, I
would
order
imagine
some...
that this is a pretty rowdy and celebratory.
It is picking up on it. Good job,
well, the
Ransom.
whole bar is kind of rowdy, actually. Now that you're paying more attention to what's going on, it's a lively joint.
I walk up, I first order some drinks, and I arrange with Olivia to pay for them because she holds all of our money.
Love that keeps coming up.
Mm-hmm. And then as I'm waiting for them, I kind of turn around and I address Guy. And I say, hey man, just wanted to say that was really kind of you to say to my mom. I really appreciate it.
Love the development between those characters.
It's like real hard to deal with these kind of situations. You know, there's like a lot of feelings swirling around. And it's like, you know, hard to get them right. And so like, I appreciate that you tried, man.
No, like, it's my goal to be in touch. No, that's not the right word. Like, I want to understand my feelings, not just feel them. And so I try my best to, like, see what they mean and then, like, recognize them in other people. Guy's so such a hippie. Visualize the place that they... Like, that's it. Like, Guy's just, like, a super touchy-feely hippie who does music. Like, that's his character. They're
Yeah. That like
you know.
courageous vulnerability, like
God, right there, Kellen being like that courageous vulnerability. That section, courageous vulnerability, is Kellen like setting up the romance that she has with Guy Claypool that has been unspoken. That's like the sort of like, you know, we're feeding into each other, we're like complimenting each other, like we're building each other up without actually saying anything. And watch how Guy flips that around to build Kellen up.
seeing the colors of feeling, you know, and then like interpreting them, like putting them out there.
I mean, I wouldn't use the words courageous, but you know, if you
Like
want
I
to
would,
use
man. I would use that for you, man.
See,
like,
that's like your courage, is you're not afraid to like accept it all. You know, I'm still a little timid inside. Shouldn't have used the word courage. On. And like you just embrace whatever it is, and that's like one of the most beautiful things about you. Look at
how
that,
does
man.
Olivia react to this conversation?
They're just building each other up.
There?
They're like, there's a huge romance right there.
Yeah.
You can
You're
definitely
standing
right under the
there 'cause
surface.
I was ordering drinks and you're standing right next to me because you have to pay for them, and then guys like right here, I'm talking like basically right next to you.
And you know what I love about you, babe? And then I put my hand. Your eyes and the way they like transcend.
Oh my god, these people are so gross together. I mean, it's perfect for the storyline, but they're like so on top of it and like, oh my god, your eyes. Oh my god, I want to make out. It's so gross, but it's perfect. That's exactly what
I'm talking
we need.
about. I kind of get distracted from Guy. I'm like, that's exactly it. You know, it's about like seeing into someone. You know, like feeling
you know,
more than the surface.
Oh
And I
god,
kinda
Ransom,
have-
how do you hang out with these people?
And
Interrupts
I kind
Liam.
of have this thing where I like see into people's minds, like I feel connected to everyone, but to you especially. And then
Yeah, you know, right? Bards, they just keep talking and talking.
I start making out with Kellen, and I stare at him.
Like open
Kellen?
eye making out. Yeah.
So I stare at the guy.
Oh,
So I knew that she was staring at Guy because I know that she knows that Guy likes Kellen. But I asked her to clarify to make it clear to the viewers and the other players that she's staring at Guy, because I need her to say I stare at Guy, but she says I stare at him, and that's kind of vague, and so I pretend not to know what she's talking about in order for her to clarify it for everybody else.
Guy.
At Guy or Liam?
At Guy.
Okay.
So we are kissing, and she's like looking at Guy like.
Guy is clearly very awkward. Olivia's staring at him while making out with somebody else, and Guy's kind of like, and he just turns back to the others.
That's the challenge makeout right there.
After, you know, your makeout, well, during your makeout session, Rhonda has a moment where she goes over. All right, so there we're kind of like, we're done with the scene that we came here for, or like the scene that ended up developing. We didn't really have a goal with this scene. We just like wanted to bring the other characters back into it and give Kess and Kalia some downtime. And that's me being like, shit, what do we do now? Like everyone's at the bar, no one has anywhere else to go yet. Like there's nothing pressing. What's next? And so I scramble. I'm just like, Rhonda and Ransom. Let's see what are they doing? Well, during your makeout session, Rhonda has a moment where she goes over to Ransom's father and says, I don't think we've had an opportunity to be introduced. I am Rhonda Bell, niece to Kel Bell. We come up with a scene where Rhonda's introducing herself to Liam. I almost say something, but then I remember I want it to be said to Kalia in front of Kess. And when the players rejoin, or when the party rejoins Kalia and Kess at the table, Rhonda's gonna say what I almost slipped up and said right here. And instead we go down a different path. And specifically, this is another awkward NPCs interacting with each other. But the way Liam reacts to the information Rhonda's giving right here is very telling about his character. Built up very intentionally.
Goes, oh. Hey there. Kel? Are you a knight yet? She shakes her head and goes, nice to meet you. Son, what are you doing with high nobility these days?
Ooh, she's not on high nobility. You fucked up, Neal.
No, she's a pain, Cal, but Miss Rhonda here. She's trained to be a warrior. I figured I'd teach her a few pointers.
Right. So, nice to meet you. He awkwardly shakes her hand.
See,
come on, everybody.
He's like
Look.
super awkward around the noble and the knight, and he's like, you know, when he was interacting with everybody else, even the other NPCs, he's loud and boisterous and having a good time. And here he's like, whoa, knight, noble, awkward, right? We're learning something about his character without being like, he's a scoundrel and like doesn't get along well with the law. We don't say that, we show that. So that's the importance of that interaction.
Looks like the elves have dried their tears. Let's all go socialize together.
But I have no idea how to continue this thing going on over here, and I want Ron to have a scene with Kess and Kalia, so we rejoin the bar since no one else seems to have anything to say.
Let's make new friends. And he brings a pitcher over, and everyone goes to sit down at the table. As everyone's coming over, Rhonda comes up from in front of, like, kind of steers around so she can approach from the front. Approaches Kalia, and sticks out her hand very formally. Kalia takes it, and Rhonda says, hello, I am Rhonda Bell. I am Ransom's right hand.
Right there, that's another one of those, like, Rhonda and Ransom, and Rhonda and Ransom, and Rhonda and Ransom. She's calling herself Ransom's right hand. And that's kind of a pretty personal relationship. It's not too much. It's not like we're dating, but it's definitely establishing the Rhonda Ransom connection. Here. Talia shakes it. And as a counterpoint to that, we've also had Rhonda be like really sensitive to Kess because we want to, well, generally speaking, I want to build like Rhonda and Ransom as like a couple in other people's minds, but then have Rhonda be like really sneaky and always like helping out Kess, be like act like Kess's best friend while she's stealing Kess's dude. That's the dynamic I want to set up with Rhonda, is she's stealing Kess's man while she's like helping Kess out and trying to befriend her. That sort of like double-crossing betrayal bitch sort of angle is what we're going for here.
Then looks over and goes, and this tall gentleman? Referring to Ransom's father.
Yeah, I wait for a moment for my father to introduce himself, but I guess he doesn't. Hey, yeah, here's my pops.
I really like that Ransom refers to his father
Pleasure
as
to
pops.
meet you. Great to meet you, ma'am. Great to meet you.
Awkwardness.
So, weddings, right? When can we expect the big day? I mean, I've traveled all the way across the country for this. All the way across the continent. Is there a plan?
Remember, we're here for the wedding. Let's not get sidetracked.
You're awfully early. Did we set a date?
Didn't say, it just said, come to Akuba, we're getting married.
Boy, we really should get better at planning these things.
Oh, that's
Love
why I'm
Ransom.
here. No other reason.
Oh,
Right there. Listen to that.
things.
Oh, that's why I'm here. No other reason.
Again, hinting at Liam's devious, underhanded, something is happening behind the scenes. You know, he's got a trouble with the law, and oh yeah, here, no other reason, right? What's actually happening with his character is what I'm trying to build with that.
Oh, how's tomorrow?
Works for me.
Where are we gonna do this tomorrow? Did you guys
Seems like we've
plan
already
it?
got everyone important here.
Oh my god, Kellen is so romantic. Like they planned it in secret and never told us.
So this is just a
very
wonderful
moment.
scene where
Oh my
Ransom's like, yeah, we're getting married, let's do it
But
tomorrow, and others are like,
wait. I kind of like look at Kess, concerned, and I'm like,
Look at Kellen, like, help me.
I love this interaction.
Tomorrow's not good for me. I can't be there.
Why not?
I have an engagement to not. I have a. I have
Anna
arranged
is so good right
to
here.
play at the other tavern.
So Anna sets this up. I've arranged to play at the other tavern. We actually end up going through with this, but I think the players forget about it when we actually get to it in the next week's episode, which happens all the time, where the players set one thing up, we actually play it out, and like, whoops, we did this, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, I really, really like Anna's performance right here as Kellen. I think that was spot on. Ah, are you as good of a performer as your mother is?
Wait, what?
Liam sort of has a voice.
No, our mother performs.
Once again, Kess is trying to get... V is trying to get Kess to have information that V has.
No, I mean, I guess you would know because everyone talks about how great, the Ethlial crowd is. The Ethlials.
Players can't even get their names right.
You know my mother?
She's here, right?
Damn it, Kess, you don't know anything. I'm sorry, I couldn't. There were 3 people talking. I tried to avoid it. And what were you saying, son?
I'm sure Colleen.
Try to avoid Kess's questions. Right? She nods. Actually, I have been performing here in this very bar. And find some way to explain it.
Mom, no way, because I just booked a gig here. I think they want us to play together.
It's been some time since we played together. I don't think we've ever played together on the road. At least not this far west.
Oh my
East,
God,
west, get it straight, Neal.
They're playing, yay!
You play?
Well, I'm the band manager, and I started branching out into live painting. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's like an experimental new form of art, and Actually,
we're gonna rewind a little bit. We're gonna take a moment and just take a look at the interactions between Olivia and Kalia here during this scene.
Yay!
You play?
Want us to play together.
It's been some time since we played together. I don't think we've ever played together on the road. At least not this far west.
Oh my God, all of us together playing, yay!
You play?
Well, I'm the band manager, and I started branching out into live painting. I don't know if you've heard about this, but it's like an experimental new form of art, and I've heard of it, and I decided to launch myself upon it because I feel that it really complements music to have live art in the background. Sometimes some people, they can't hear, but they can see.
Right. Well,
some people can't connect from the heart with music, but they can connect from the heart with visuals.
It's real cutting edge, Mom. It's like the next big thing.
The biggest public we can ever get. We're getting best of both worlds.
Be very happy to see how this goes. Question for Kess and Kellen. So that right there, that can be interpreted in 2 ways. Either Kalia's just being a mom and kind of oh, you play? Oh, that's nice, la la la. Kind of I don't know, I felt like that was a very parent thing to be oh, really? I don't really believe in you, but I'm gonna verbally agree with you just to be polite. Or you could interpret it in the Kalia doesn't like Olivia, and so she's sort of subtly kind of nagging at her. Not nagging at her, but not showing faith in her. And to be honest, I don't remember what my intentions were at that moment. I think I was trying to have her just be a mom. But Olivia has this tension with Kalia that I think I had kind of forgotten, and it comes up later. And I think this is the situation where Olivia or Jen is interpreting Kalia as kind of putting her down and not showing faith in her, where I was trying to have Kalia just be being a mom and not really giving her children enough credit and not really thinking that they know what they're doing because they're kids and blah, blah, blah. Oh God, what have I done? Ruined it all. Oh my God, I really ruined it all.
We're Green Day.
All of us together decided to launch myself upon it because I feel that it really complements music to have live art in the background. Sometimes some people, they can't hear, but they can see.
Right. Well,
some people can't connect from the heart with music, but they can connect from the heart with visuals.
It's real cutting edge, Mom. It's the next big thing.
Kellen's playing up the she's just being a mom and not getting it sort of angle, which is what I was going for. And Olivia, I think, is getting the she doesn't like me angle.
The biggest public we can ever get. We're getting best of both worlds.
Be very happy to see how this goes. Question for Kess and Kellen. What instrument does your mother play? Great. I don't know what instrument the mother plays. we need to know, so let the players decide, because it doesn't really matter.
So I think my mom plays like a harp or something.
I was just thinking that, a harp. Perfect.
Yeah.
Totally sibling.
Yeah.
Don't even care, but we need to know. Let the players do it. So
and our sound is like the alternative to her like classic rock, you know? So she's
so if she and your father were the Rolling Stones, who would you guys be?
ABBA?
No, we're like
Def Leppard?
No, we're like Fall Out Boy or something.
We're gonna skip ahead a little bit. Better, okay. The arrangements to play here, because she knows how the system works. She's been playing here for years, and heads off to the bar to talk to the bartender and make the arrangements. Slight lore break where Kellen's like, I already set up this arrangement, and now the mom's going to actually set up the arrangement because Kellen didn't. Kind of a blip in the story, a small plot hole, if you will, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. Liam gets up at the same time to go get some drinks, and the two of them head off together, leaving. This gives us some more Liam-Kalia alone time, which we want to help establish, while also getting more NPCs out of the scene, because there's fucking 4 NPCs and 4 players, and that's too many NPCs. So separate the NPCs, give the players as much time together to interact with each other as possible, because the players interacting together is way more important than the players interacting with NPCs. So wherever possible, wherever it, is not important for the NPCs to be around, they shouldn't be around. The 6 of you at the table.
Who departed?
Liam and Kalia.
Okay. Just the grown-ups.
The adults. I like that. Just the grown-ups. Kids are at the table, along with Guy and Rhonda. Should have shut up. Just let them talk.
I'm like
look over at Guy, and I'm just like, maybe you can play a song tomorrow then.
Ooh, Kess and Guy are sassy.
Song?
Love this
Guy, you
interaction.
Wrote a new song?
No, not since I performed earlier today or yesterday, whenever that was that I did my thing. I haven't written anything new.
Oh, that's.
Kess, you seem sort of defensive about that. Is everything okay?
I mean, I only helped with it and then didn't even get to perform it.
Oh, you were a total help. I would never have gotten there if it wasn't for you. You totally saved my butt with that. But dude, Kess, you were having a hard time. So I really liked the Kess Guy interaction on the ship, and we're trying to feed back into that a little bit.
I think I should make you feel better. How about, since tomorrow's not good for you, we'll have the wedding in 2 days.
Oh, Ransom, you're so good.
How about we actually have a date sometime,
That's too real of a statement. I feel like girls have said that to me.
Oh, did you want one? I mean, you never came up to me and asked for one, so absolutely.
I don't know. I pretty much took the whole boat trip by myself. So.
I know. It was very tough for me to let you do that, but I gave you.
Let me do that.
Yes.
Oh, this is such good drama. Oh, it's so juicy. Yeah, Guy and Rhonda are both. Actually, they get up and start walking away. I was
going to make sure that we booked separate rooms today if we needed to. I say with a complete straight face.
Yeah, I think that would be why.
You want that tonight, dear?
I think
oh god, this is painful to watch.
All right.
They do this so well. This Kess Ransom interaction is so good. I love their juicy drama between each other.
I'm picking up some serious vibes. I just want to make sure that I understand what's going on between you two. Is there have we come to some sort of decision with this whole separate room thing?
So we're gonna pause for a moment here again. We're getting into some pretty heavy stuff here, and yet we still have this really light, fun music in the background. If we wanted to switch the scene into something more serious, this is the moment where we would switch the music. In this situation, we don't. We keep the light, festive music because things have been so heavy and so intense for so long that we need some lightheartedness and a little bit, something a little less heavy on our souls. I'm struggling to find other words than light and heavy or light and shadow, but whatever. But this is the perfect time to change to more dramatic music because they've had Kess and Ransom have had like an awkward interaction, and now Kellen's bringing it to the forefront. This is a great scene change, but we're gonna keep it light.
I just figure Kess wants her space, so I'm happy to...
Just keep giving me more and more space. That's perfect. That's exactly what a boyfriend should do. Give all the space in the world.
Oh my God,
message
so
heard
real.
loud and clear.
It's so real
for you.
Cool. So I'm glad you guys have that figured out now. Olivia, can you help?
It's really good how, like, I see that you've worked on your communication together. Like, Ransom is so receptive to your very clear feedback that I feel it's like a really great statement.
This is the first of many times that Olivia suggests that they work on their communication, but she does it in a really subtle way right here, which I like. It was well done, Olivia.
Sarcastic when she knows that Ransom like really wants to please her and is always aware of what she's
And we're like discussing this as like a commentator desk as we're sitting right next to them.
Like, she knows how Ransom is, so like why would she by her own like voluntarily mislead him in what she's wanting? He's like, you know, he's the kind of person that you say it how it is, and then
talking about communication, trying to fix their relationship from the outside.
If Kess was feeling any kind of doubts, then she would know to say them bluntly to Ransom.
They're trying to fix it, but it's not going to work.
You're right. Maybe I should say this more bluntly.
At that moment, the door opens, but we don't want to fix the problems between Kess and Ransom. We don't want to bring all of this to a head. It's been true dramatic. We don't want this to explode. We didn't change the music to something more dramatic. And right as Kess is about to blow the lid and say, like, I don't want to get married or we should break up, I don't know what she's saying, but you can feel that she's about to blow the lid on something. And so we interrupt. We talk over the players. We say something else is going on so they don't have an opportunity to, like, blow up the volcano already. We want the drama to keep soaking in. We want a slow roast, not normal roast. My metaphors here may be lacking. So we end that scene and we introduce a new character. Really, we could have just done anything to break it out and to prevent her from finishing that sentence, because we don't want her to finish that sentence right now. So then going, brother! And there's your brother, Ransom, at the front door. Thank God we had a new character to introduce. If we didn't have that, I don't know what we would have done. Like, maybe had Liam and Kalia come back from the bar or make out, or something would have had to happen. Thankfully, we've got Neeson, Liam's other son, introduced.
Older brother.
Okay, yeah, that makes more sense. Perfect. He gives you a big hug, goes, oh, I haven't seen you in, what's been, a year and a half now?
Yeah, that's right. How have you been?
Establishing backstory about mom and dad, right? Remember the parents broke up?
I just heard about it recently. What happened?
He comes back to the table with you. Man, they split up. And now we get to examine a little bit more of Liam's backstory, because he's actually an important character so far. We're trying to make him an important character, and we've been trying to hint that he's been sketchy and weird. And I actually go over the top here. I didn't mean to give so much backstory detail, as we're about to see. I think I messed up and gave too much, but whatever. Let's just see how it goes. Mom was not happy with Dad.
I don't get it. How could she ever be unhappy with Dad?
Well, he looks around and goes, are these people cool?
Yeah, they're cool.
Setting up some, what's going on? All right, so you know how Dad has always had some side gigs to make ends meet. Hint, don't spell out. Well, turns out one of these side gigs was a little bit less legal than usual. Still hinting. And, he got himself into a little bit of trouble. And Johnny Law came looking for him, and ooh, too much. Done. She just had too much detail with the police showing up to the door, with the questions, with the constant,
Nope.
Too far. With all of his crazy ideas of how to make things happen,
And I think it must have been like 3 or 4 days after we last saw you. She just got up and left. Nope, I should have been more subtle. I should have kind of avoided it or something. We shouldn't have spelled it out this soon.
Could happen to the best of people, so that's too bad.
Yeah. So you're that one, he says, pointing to Kess. That has got to be my future sister-in-law. Hi,
So,
I'm Neeson.
you know, future sister-in-law, kind of paralleling Liam being like daughter-in-law, but also showing the stark contrast between Liam and his son Neeson is that Liam's loud and boisterous and is flirting with all the girls and getting everyone's names wrong, but Neeson, the son, Ransom's brother, is a little bit more responsible. He's got his shit together a little bit more. He comes to a table without being introduced and can spot his sister, his brother's girlfriend, because he pays attention, he actually cares, and he's got his shit together a little bit more. So we're trying to separate Neeson and Liam, you know, a little bit, but still kind of paralleling because they're all in the same family, so they all should have similar traits together, sort of thing.
It's nice to meet you, he says, reaching out a hand.
Hi.
We're actually going to see a lot of similarities between Neeson,
How attractive does
Liam,
Tess
and
find
Ransom.
Neeson?
They're all going to have like similarities, and then, you know, stark differences
So
as
remember
well.
our system, you have to decide whether you have the propensity to be attracted or not to be attracted, and then roll according to that.
Or
Okay.
if it could be anything, you could just do.
Which one is it again? Roll what?
If it's just like any random person you don't know, it's 3d6. Doesn't matter. Let's just skip ahead. As
Rolls a
different from
13.
you as your father is. So, you know, you're all
So
kind of
one thing
looking alike, but
I'm
not
always stressing to my
too
players
connected.
is
Maybe
8 to
you and your father
13
look a
is an
little bit more
average score.
of all
Oftentimes players will roll like
Okay,
an
roll a
8 or a
13.
9 and be like, oh my god, it's so
That's the
terrible,
upper
when it's
end of
not
average.
actually that terrible. So whenever possible, I try and emphasize 8 to 13 is average. So 13, I call it like the upper end of average because I want them to internalize 8 to 13 is average.
Okay. Is it killer?
Yeah, you can call me killer. I give him a fist bump. Yeah, man, it's
He's
Kellen.
cool.
What's up?
He's got, you know,
up,
he can
Kellen?
make
I'm
friends.
Neeson.
He's casual.
what's up, Neeson?
Whatever. He's like
This
the
is my
cool
girl,
brother.
Olivia, right
Awesome.
here.
Ah, Olivia, enchanté.
Little bit flirty like his dad.
Un plaisir de vous rencontrer.
And Jen busts out with the French. I have no idea what she's saying, but it's
Is
good
that
job.
some weird,
Well
like
done.
a Cuban or something? I don't know.
He leans over.
Anna
and gives it a
rolls
kiss.
with it. Great. It's like, oh yeah, French. That's a
I guess
Cuban.
it could-
Perfect.
it
I
could be a
I
Cuban,
love how they
right?
add in these details and these explanations in game world for the things that we do in character. Anna has been really on point with that this episode, and generally
go get a
speaking,
drink.
she's really good at that.
Takes
I
off.
like it.
Leaving the four of you back at the table again. You see Guy and Rhonda are off, like, by themselves near the front door, whispering to one another.
Because we don't want that many NPCs. So we say they're around so people remember, but we get them out of the picture so we don't have to deal with them.
On over here.
Yeah, your bro seems cool, man.
Yeah, he is. We've been pulling stunts ever since I was young.
Stunts? What kind of stunts?
Ooh, what's
It
going
runs in
on?
the family, a little bit of deviousness.
Wait, deviousness, like illegal stuff, like your dad, like he said?
I suppose. Just
Ransom
not
does a
illegal
much
per
better
se.
job
Just,
of
very
hinting
exciting things. How
at
about
illegal
that?
activity rather
like
than
exciting
spelling it
stuff.
out. He did a much better job than I did.
Yeah, that's why we get along so well, Kel.
I
Oh my
like
g-
exciting stuff too.
Chat just made me understand why you called the brother Neeson, Neal.
Wait. I get it now too.
Good job, guys. Liam Neeson.
I
We figured
head
it
over to
out.
bar.
And if they ask
I'll be
about the
back.
mother's
I need some
name, I
water.
think her
then I go to the
name.
bar to
I
get
don't remember
water.
what it is off the
Do you
top of
go
my head.
just to your own spot, or are you trying to meet up with somebody there?
But Ransom's mother's name is the name of another character in the Taken series.
All right, it's the three of you. Kellen, Ransom, and Olivia are the only ones left at the table now. And is there anything you guys have to discuss, or should we move on to other?
Or maybe the name of Liam Neeson's wife or something? I don't know. It's another Liam Neeson
Olivia,
reference.
Ransom.
Funny to you guys?
What?
Kind of ask question.
What was the question? Sorry.
Is my brother's name funny to you guys?
It just it goes.
I don't know if
really well
Ransom's
with your
picked up on
dad's
this
name,
joke
you
yet.
know? Like just like
Or Trump.
brother, Liam Neeson. You know, they're just like they go really well together.
Does Chump get it? Does he not?
He seems to flow, yeah.
Yeah, I don't get it. Olivia doesn't get it, at least.
Notice how the music has stopped. Nope. It's just slowly replaying.
That's all we have to talk about. I think we just kind of...
Cool. I think I was trying to stop it, and then they just kept going or something. So, I think some time passes, someone orders food, a couple of tables get pushed together, and the group has expanded. There were originally 6 of you on the ship. Now we're adding in a father, a brother, and a mother. So that brings us up to 9 people are gathered around this table. That's like half NPCs. It's way too many NPCs. The wedding has been pushed to the side as other things have been risen up, and people are, I think, for a variety of reasons, many people are drinking a lot tonight. For a great variety of reasons. I shouldn't say great variety of reasons too many times. That just sounds awkward. Fighting, not like actually trying to kill each other fighting, but they like get up. But we're trying to set the scene, and we're trying to encourage the players to drink a lot so that they can, drama themselves to death. But I still kind of overdid it, I think, with the awkwardness of my phrasing. Up and draw weapons and start battling each other back and forth.
Like in a fun way or in an angry way?
In like a camaraderie way.
And like a haha.
Yeah. We got not Ransom. We've got Rhonda and Neeson fighting and battling only as a way to get them out of the scene. But then it also helps to like further their characters. We didn't want them there, right? We sent like Guy off to the side to do something, and now we have like Rhonda and Neeson like doing something away from the rest of the party so that there's not so many NPCs sitting around the table, but we have them fight to help build up their characters because Rhonda's a fighter. And we don't know anything about Neeson yet, but we're seeing that he's liking to fight and wrestle and, do combat. So we're building his character with the reason for them to leave.
Thank you, that's your part.
Good dodge. What about this? But don't you see, I'm left-handed, actually. Da-da-da.
Yeah. I am not left-handed.
Right.
Cool. Okay. Kellen.
I want to get really drunk.
If Olivia gets really drunk, Kellen also gets really drunk.
Perfect. We were hoping this would happen. Can do. There are many reasons to be drunk today. Oh my God, Neal, shut up. So Rhonda and Neeson are fighting. Guy is kind of sitting by himself, sipping. It looks like, to get him out of the picture, is kind of chatting with whoever's willing to talk with him. Kess, what's going on with you? We haven't checked in with Kess in a little while.
Myself, so I'm like, wait, where did you say Guy was doing?
He's just kind of sipping quietly by himself.
Okay.
Here we are hoping that Kess says she goes and sits next to Guy and they drink quietly together, because she and Guy had like a quiet time on the ship, and if we can keep building on them like quietly hanging out while everyone else is getting along, that would be really cool.
I'm just sitting quietly by myself too.
Okay. Ransom, what are you up to? She doesn't take the bait. She doesn't go over and hang out with them.
I'm also sitting quietly by myself.
All right, so there's a quiet corner where Kess, Ransom, and Guy are all kind of murmuring to themselves. Kellen and Olivia are getting drunk together, and we all know that means sloppy makeouts at the table. I guess that awkward...
I'm not in a festive mood, actually.
Oh. Good job, Jen. Yeah. Direct the conversation. Don't let me dictate to you what you're doing.
I'm in a not so great mood. Well, I mean, like, it's been weird, and like all these new people, and I've never been feeling like I fit in, so I'm like drinking, and I'm like, my character's like pretend partying with Kellen. Like, you can feel it when someone doesn't feel like partying, but they're kind of dragged along, and they're like,
oh my God, I know exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah. Like it's someone's birthday or something, but you just learned something bad. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So after a while, I'm like, I guess getting more and more transparent about being upset.
She's building to something good.
Mess it up or not.
Babe, what's wrong? Just you can tell me anything all the time.
There's like so many things going on, you have no idea.
Yeah, all the time, so many things.
Like your mom being there, and like, I'm so sorry about your dad, and like,
And we
I feel
change the
really
music,
selfish in
right?
this, but, like,
We're going to
Singer
something a
Box
little bit
reminds me of
more
how much,
gentle.
like,
We're doing
they hated
the Slaughtered
Renton and
Ox
I,
instead
and,
of
like,
Wild West
especially
Saloon.
me, and like I don't know what to do with your mom. I can't be myself around her.
So we're changing the music because we want to do two things. One, it's getting later in the evening, and we want to kind of hint, or we want to then be able to show later when it comes up that the evening is calming down, that things in the bar are starting to calm down. We want to like bring the mood back down a little bit because it's been up and up and up and up and up, and it's time to bring it down a little, not too much. So we're setting that the bar is getting a little bit quieter, and we're also setting that it's getting later in the evening, and the two of them are kind of working together, right? Like it's getting later, so the bar is getting quieter, but then we also want the bar to get quieter so that we can kind of like change the pacing. We don't want to stick with the same, super energetic for too long. And now that everyone's getting drunk is a nice time to change the scene as well. That we kind of like let these things line up.
Like she hates me. She just hates me.
Kellen's listening to this, but he's super drunk, so
hates me.
He's doing that thing where he's like just slow nodding, but his eyes are kind of like super heavy. He's like, yeah. Like,
She does. I think I should talk to her. Should I?
And now I'm remembering,
babe,
oh yeah, Olivia and Kalia didn't get along very well. Oh yeah,
like,
okay, good. How do we show them not getting along?
He just knows what to do, and you're really pretty.
But like, okay, so like, there's that, and there's even more stuff. So like, I don't even know where I should focus on. Like, what would you do if like you found out that someone was like so into me?
Oh, this is a beautiful scene here, right? Because Olivia is talking about this, and everybody, myself included, is thinking, oh my God, she's talking, well, except for me, actually. Everyone else at the table is thinking, she's talking about Alex Gilder. Because nobody else, except for Anna, really, knows that Guy is into Anna. So she's talking about this. It sounds like she's talking about Alex.
Their world revolved around me, and it was not you. Like someone else was like trying to get with me.
But really, she's talking about Guy. She's doing a really good talking about this, but it seems like I'm talking about that. It's really skillful. I'm very proud of Jen for this moment right here.
Super into you because you're just like.
But like, if that person was like so close that they're like creeping.
Well, like you would never like encourage someone like that. Like you never like go like be alone with them and like let their.
And Kellen right here is totally playing up the like, oh, you're talking about Alex, right? You'd never like go off and hang around with Alex. Kellen's totally playing up what Olivia's trying to get other people to talk about, and it's super effective. And you can see Kellen's insecurity here. I really enjoy this scene. This is great.
I didn't even see it, and then someday it just like burst up in my face.
If they just like
creeped up,
if they creeped on you, I would smash them.
Yeah. That's what should be done.
Yeah.
Perfect.
If you're like, yo, this person's creeping.
Yeah.
You'd be like, Kellen's the creeper, and then I'll be like,
yeah, that's what I should do. And then I like
perfect scene.
Put my shooters away, and I get up, and I go up to Guy.
Guy's like sipping. Huh?
Get up.
Gets up.
I punch him in the face.
He doesn't even try and dodge it. You hit him. He falls to the ground. The cup goes flying and cracks.
I jump on him and I like keep slapping it, and I'm like, I hate you so much. You get away from my man.
It's beautiful.
Stalker.
Kellen's like completely mind blown. Like, what?
I hate you. I can't believe you've been there the whole time. Pretend to be in love with me just so that you can get with my man. This is not okay.
And the ball drops.
Just, like, trying to block the blows that are coming in. I think everyone else is just too stunned by this. The crowd of the bar is just laughing, having a great time with it. Does anyone at the table do anything about this?
I'm stunned at first.
So the players are clearly creating a scene which would have some effect on the bar around them. A problem I often have is that the players will be doing something and it's like super important and dramatic, and I forget what the audience, like not the audience viewers of the show, but the people around them in game would act like. So that, like, the bar's loving it is my way of showing that their actions are affecting the world around them, but I don't want to interrupt what they're doing, so I just roll with it like the bar likes it. Because I want them to just keep doing their things, but I want to, at the same time, show that they have an impact on the world.
And then I get up and immediately grab for Olivia, and I like hold her back.
As she pulls me back, I'm fighting it up, and I'm like, "You're fired from the band, from the crew."
Guy gets up.
Olivia, what is your problem?
And Guy runs for the door and bolts. So we get Guy to run for the door and bolt, because we don't want to bring this drama, we don't want to finish this drama, right? If Guy sticks around and then they get in a fight and then they talk about it, then the Guy, Kellen, Olivia drama is resolved. And we don't want to resolve it. We want to drag it out. We want it to be the story. We want to see how it progresses. We don't want to finish it too quickly. It's the same reason we cut off Kess earlier when she was about to say, maybe we shouldn't get married to Ransom, and we interrupted with Neeson, right? Same thing. Get Guy out of there so we can drag out this scene and get more into the juicy bits. So we remove Guy from the situation so the scene can't continue.
What, Olivia?
Or it can't resolve totally.
That he wasn't creeping on you. That's not.
No, he was creeping on you.
Olivia, he's
Oh, Ransom kind of nods.
Olivia.
It all comes together.
And seriously, of everyone, Ransom's the one that
sense.
figures it out and is like, "Oh yeah, that makes total sense." Meanwhile, Olivia and or I should say Jen and V were like, "What the hell? Where did this come from?" When they first learn about this interaction. I'm really surprised Trump picked up on that.
To love me when he actually loves Kellen. This is unacceptable.
He's just our friends.
What do you mean he pretended to love you? What did he do?
Kellen
loves
getting all
you. The
defensive
song
because,
was
well,
about
for
you.
4
The
reasons.
song was about you.
I kind of just gather her, and she was like, yeah, I'm just kind of
You know
trying to hold,
all those sexy
petting her
things
hair.
we do, and the love we have for each other. He has that for you. He wants to do those same things with you.
Babe, that's ridiculous.
Kellen's so good at this because the Kellen-Guy relationship is real. And Kellen's not wanting to admit it, but he's not wanting to deny it. So he's just fumbling. It's spot on.
Complete sense.
I think you guys are wrong, and I run for the door and go chase after Guy.
I'm not wrong. I'm so right.
Oh, Kellen going after Guy was an awkward moment. I wasn't sure whether or not to let him catch up, or let her catch up with him. Not Kellen, Kess, sorry. Kess going after Guy is an awkward moment. I'm not sure whether we should allow that confrontation or not, because that same, it could finish up the story. It could get wrapped up right here. We don't want it to get wrapped up right here. We want to play this out a little bit more. So we tentatively go with it, but we brace for the option of breaking it up again.
Good for you for defending
I'm so right.
For defending your man, Olivia.
I should just go fight him some more. We're not done with this. He's out of the band.
Kellen's face, because he's wasted, so it's he cannot be disingenuous whatsoever. So he's to her, he's no, babe, no. And then he'll kind of look out the door after Guy, really? He's
yeah,
what?
Kellen knows what's going on.
Wow.
So do I find Guy?
Yeah, I just want to see if anyone else chases out after you. See, we're hesitating. You find Guy? Is anyone else coming? Is Olivia coming specifically? Is she gonna come? Oh no, it's just you, Kess? Okay, yeah, you can totally find Guy. Nope, everyone else hangs out in the bar.
I tried to go talk to Kalia immediately after.
I'm trying to hold her, but she's no, I need your mom.
You find Kalia engrossed in conversation with Liam. Everyone else just left them alone. Kalia and Liam, hey, they're still talking while everyone else is having their blah, blah, blahs. Look at the parents off on the side, always talking what's going on. And was doing their own things. They had no one else to talk to, so they're chatting it up. But let's follow Kess. You run outside into the streets, and maybe you didn't even realize it, but it's nighttime now. Remember us turning down the music? it's like dark outside. The streets have gotten kind of quiet, and you catch up with Guy half a block away, like leaning against the wall with both arms, head against his forearms.
I run up to him and
we got to show that Guy is in trouble without saying he's in trouble. So we show it by like describing his situation in a very classic, like, oh my God, what the fuck is going on way.
Then like I kind of take the last few steps, like slow walking. I was like, Guy.
Well done, well described.
True?
He pops up. What? Is what true?
Are you into my brother?
Look, your brother is like such an amazing artist. Like, you know, he and I like are super connected. Nope, wrong song, wrong song. Like, you know, we have a lot of commonalities. Or too loud, I mean, too loud.
Feelings for him in that way.
That would be really awkward and super uncomfortable. This song that we're playing is Before the Storm. Like, if that was the case, like, we couldn't be friends anymore. But now it's too quiet. I'm totally in love head over heels with Bash's girl. You know, I can't be...
Are you still in love with her?
Kablia? Yeah. Kablia, seriously? So... ever since Guy first was like, I'm in love with Bash's girl, and he called her Kalena, which is clearly Kellen with an A thrown at the end of it. And every time he talks about her, it's a slight bastardization of the name. It was like Kalena, then it was Kalina, then it was Kalana or something like that, and now it's Kablia. Like every time he's mentioned her name, he's gotten it wrong because she doesn't exist, and I've been trying to hint at to the players that she doesn't exist by getting the name wrong. And I don't think anybody has caught on to it. I think Ransom catches on to it later in this episode or right about now, but no one else picked up on it. Yeah, like, totally.
You're not very convincing right now.
You know, like... He turns and, like, throws himself on your shoulder and just, like, wraps his arms over the side of you. Ooh, I regret that.
What's wrong? And I just kind of, like, pat his back.
You look, you and Ransom are so happy. You two have like everything going for you. It's like perfect between the two of you. I mean, like you have your problems. Like he's blunt and stupid sometimes, and like, you know, you make mountains out of molehills all the time, and you know, you guys are ridiculous together. So this right here is a reaction to Kess and Ransom. Because they struggled on the boat, and they've been struggling since then, and things have been getting kind of dark between Kess and Ransom, and Kess is like sort of called off the wedding, and then she almost said something that we don't know what it is. I don't even know what it is. Like maybe she was about to break up with him. So Guy being like, you and Ransom are so great is... I mean, it comes from a place of lore, but it's also my attempt to try and patch things up between Kess and Ransom. Because if they break up, I don't know what happens to the show. Like, they can't break up. If they break up, what do we do? Like, what does Trump roll up a new character? Like, if they break up, the show kind of ends. So this is like me using Guy to put the brakes on the development between Kess and Ransom and remind her of all the good things and like show how Trump is a little bit weird and show how Ransom's a little bit fucked up and show how Kess is a little bit fucked up. You're like, he's blunt and stupid, but you're making a mountain out of a molehill, right? This is Guy trying to mediate their relationship and fix it. And at the same time, avoid having to talk about his feelings for Kellen because we don't want to quite delve too deeply into that yet. So we kind of change the topic onto something we want together, and you're totally in love and it's perfect and you've got each other and you can be there for each other and everything. But like, you know, what if Ransom was with someone else and you wanted to be with him and you couldn't because Ransom was like head over heels with someone else? What would you do? But we still have to tie it back into the conversation we're having. What would you do if like Ransom loved another person?
I don't know. It kind of feels like that now.
Like Ransom's in love with another person? He says, like, pushing himself away.
Well,
We take any opportunity to change the topic.
Perfect relationship, but it's not perfect at all.
Good, good. Huh? But like, you guys are like the inspiration for so much of my art. Setting them up, building them up together.
Well, that's sweet of you to say, but I mean, if anything, I mean, Olivia and my brother have more of a perfect relationship than we do. They have passion. What passion do you see in my relationship right now? I took a whole boat trip by myself. Was my boyfriend anywhere near? No. He was just fighting all the time.
Love is what's there when the passion dwindles. Passion comes and goes, man. Like, a little awkward. Can't rely on passion being there every single day. I feel like I didn't really get to the sentiment I was trying to express. It's gonna burn out. Like, it's not a sustainable form of love. What you and Ransom have is like truly solid. Every time you've ever needed him, he's been there. We're like trying to get her to appreciate all the good things about Ransom because we don't want them to break up. We want them to patch things up. We just want this to be a rough patch with some drama, but not the end of their relationship.
For me, I've been alone for a while now.
That's only because Ransom's an idiot.
Yeah, well, look at his father. Apple doesn't fall far from the tree then, I guess.
Those.
And like, is that ever going to change? Who knows?
You just gotta like...
He told my mom that my dad was dead without any sort of tact.
His music is way too low, but it's perfect for the scene. You know, like... No one's perfect, but like, I mean, you know how like horses, you put blinders on their horses so they'll just look straight ahead and they won't get distracted by the things on the sides, right? Ransom always has blinders on. Like, he knows when he sees something he wants, he goes for it. He is direct, man.
I used to think that was very cute about him, and it's not that I don't anymore. Or anything like that, but I mean, he hasn't been here for me through my father's death, and you know, when I could have had somebody there on the boat, he was nowhere to be found. Like he said, "Oh, I was giving you space, what you needed." I'm pretty sure I directly told him one day how upset I was, and he didn't do anything about it.
I don't know if that's true or not. Yeah, but it doesn't really matter. Love's a two-way street, man.
If you love my brother, obviously you're...
Good job, Kess. Bring it back around. We needed to get back to why you were out here. Ransom right now, right? Like that's the big issue.
No, what I came out here to find was you.
Good job, Kess.
If you love my brother doesn't feel that way for you. You're his friend.
I know.
Okay, and he has a girlfriend that he loves very much.
Yeah, I know. They're super happy together all the time.
But I'm confused. If you were in love with this other girl and now this, then what's going on with you?
Look at that expression.
Do you just love everybody else's significant other?
That was kind of weird. You never paid attention to Bash, did you?
Oh. It was Bash?
Dude. This is where I wonder how much of Kess is like not catching social cues, is V not catching social cues.
As a friend, even for a girl.
Bash and I. Or is her role playing just that good? I don't know. I don't know which one it is. Bandmates and friends.
But did you love him? More than that.
Like in the same way I love you or Ransom or Olivia. Yeah, like, you know, he's my bro. Like, we'd hang out together.
So, were you in love with his girlfriend then?
Bash didn't have a girlfriend. Like, did you ever see her anywhere ever?
Oh, he had a boyfriend?
Oh my god. Oh my god. So dense. We have to spell it out, apparently. We were trying to hint at it, but sometimes you have to spell it out.
Hang out with you guys and was never allowed to because he wasn't cool enough for you. And probably if you paid any attention to him, you would have like realized he didn't have a girlfriend. There was never a Kalena. There was only ever a Kellen.
Didn't want to have to spell it out, but I got backed into a corner.
So he was.
Dun, dun,
You're
dun!
both in love with my brother?
No, dude, no. Okay. Oh my god. Oh, this is so awkward and uncomfortable. Seriously.
To me, I think we've been friends for a while now.
Dude, okay, all right. How could you think Bash was in love with Kellen?
Yes, there is something between your brother and I, and you think that there's a one-way street, but dude, it's not a one-way street.
Dude.
I think you've missed how much he loves Olivia.
Dude, look at me. This is my serious face. I told Bash about it, and he called me a traitor who was abandoning the band for my own feelings. You know, used some like crazy dwarven slur. You know, he called me a Yoko.
At this point, I don't actually remember if Bash is a human or a dwarf. So it's a dwarven slur, but I don't remember if Bash is a dwarf or a human. I think he's a dwarf. I don't really remember.
I don't know what the hell that means, but yeah. Anyway, or he called Kellen a Yoko. He called me a something else. Anyway, so like,
Yoko as in Yoko Ono from Beatles breakup.
Traitor and stormed off.
So,
Bash and I are just bandmates and friends.
Okay, and Bash didn't have feelings for my brother.
No, Bash just wanted to be a part of the band, and you wouldn't let him play. You broke his heart, kinda.
Well, we're just a family team. Like, I can't
Make her feel guilty. Make her feel guilty about driving Bash
Change your
away.
family. You're about to marry Ransom.
Bash tried so hard to get in the band, and it should have fallout. And here's the fallout: is that Guy is like upset at Kess for driving Bash away.
You know.
What is that supposed to mean?
I think you know what it means. Like, come on, man. You're like, one moment you and Ransom are watching sunsets, and then like the first little hiccup that comes along the way, or the first wave that rocks your boat, and you're like, forget this boat. I want to go get a new boat. You know, like,
I didn't try to get any new boat.
boats need to be repaired, man. You can't just like keep
The
sailing.
boat metaphor for relationship is awkward, but I love how awkward it is.
You need to tend to your boat, man. Like, patch
And
up
maybe
those
you
holes.
should be going after other people's boats.
Boat's a relationship, not a person.
I so did not want to talk about this. This was not supposed to happen. I was happy to, like, look,
Well, obviously you did something because Olivia wants to wail on you some more.
I don't know how she found out, man. Like, look, I told you, right? Like, I wrote that song. Like, I'm not chasing after your brother. Like, that's, you know, I'm content to just be like single and like be artist bros with him. All right, like, you know, that's just the way my life is gonna be. You know, I'll be the like, you know, the artist who never got what he wanted emotionally and uses that pain to make better music.
You seem to think my brother feels this way for you.
You remember the first time we went to Akuba? That first boat ride?
Yeah.
Look at Anna's face. She knows what's up.
Dude,
I'm sorry, what happened?
I guess you weren't around, but like, it's not a one-way street, man.
Anna knows what's up.
Did you misinterpret something, maybe?
Oh, look, you've had a hard day. Maybe you should just let me be. I kind of feel like I need to talk to someone who...
So I'm like, all right, I'm ready to end this scene. I don't want to like spell it out any farther. I'm happy to leave it here. Maybe we should just go separate ways.
I'm not trying to push anything on you. I'm trying to help you think realistically. that my brother is in a relationship with a girl he loves, but it seems to think that you think that
Kind of feels like we're circling the drain. Guy's already said a few times, a few different ways that he's not trying to get in on that relationship.
I'm I'm not chasing nobody. I'm just being a starving artist, man. Like, that's what I'm all about. Look, I think you're just displacing your emotional trouble with your relationship onto me and stirring up all sorts of shit over here.
Hey, guy, why are you being defensive to me? We're friends. Stop.
Because you're telling me that everything I know about love is wrong.
I'm not saying everything you know about love is wrong. I'm just saying that I don't want you to think something about my brother that probably might not be true.
Well, it's never gonna happen because he's with Olivia, and humans and elves don't mix, and so that's fine. And I'm just gonna be me. I'm just gonna be a guy. But I think after that, humans and elves don't mix kind of came off as if he was saying Kellen and Olivia don't mix, when really he was trying to say Kellen and I would never mix, but that phrasing was really awkward and I regret it. That I'm probably not even be allowed to be guy with you guys. I'm probably gonna have to go off on my own and maybe find Bash and ask him to take me back and forgive me, because I don't think Olivia is gonna let me hang out with you guys anymore. And so now all of my friends that I care about are gonna leave me, and I'm stuck in this godforsaken country that I don't speak the language, and I don't have any money to get back home. So my life's kind of in the dumps.
For some reason that you had to get back home, of course we would help you. But I'm sure everything will blow over and you'll be fine to stay with us.
Well, maybe you can talk to Olivia and calm her down. We're trying to get the hell out of this interaction. It's stretched on for too long, so he's like, go talk to Olivia, fix it for us. That's Neal having Guy try to wrap up this interaction and move on.
She's try, but me and Olivia have a little bit of trouble if you haven't noticed.
Which I actually haven't noticed, but the Kess Olivia trouble is something I definitely want to explore later.
You have a little bit of trouble with everybody.
And I just immediately, my face just drains and I look down.
Oh, dang.
Anyway, I need to go clear my head. I'm just gonna go for a walk.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. And Guy turns and takes off.
Wow.
And I think we're gonna go to our second break for the night. We'll see you guys on the other side.
Drama!
All right, that was Miss Click's Devotion, episode 25, part 2. We do not have enough time to do episode 25, part 3 right now. We have Miss Click's Risen in an hour, and it takes us maybe another 30% longer than the length of an episode. Maybe 50% longer than the length of an episode to actually discuss it because of all the breaks and pauses that we do. So we're going to be done for now. We've got Miss Click's Risen from 4 to 6 or something. I don't remember how long it is. I think it's 4 to 6. And then after Miss Click's Risen, we're going to come back and we're going to do part 3 of Miss Click's D&D Devotion Director's Commentary. So I'll see you guys on twitch.tv/DND in about 45 minutes. And then back here on twitch.tv/Koibu in 3 hours. 3 hours. And change. 3 hours and 15 minutes. Something like that. See you soon.